my dear 10th standard students, welcome to 100 Learning Together. This is Asha. So in this video, we are going to discuss the most expected questions for your board examination from each and every chapter, starting with the very first and the most important chapter, life processes. The reason is it is going to give you 9 marks, right? So this is the very important chapter, and you have around 20 questions in this chapter, which will be given in the PDF, which is available in the description below. Do check it out. But we are not going to discuss all the 20 questions in this video. Of course, it will take a lot of time, but I wanted to discuss some 4 to 5 questions which in your point of view is most important and confusing questions. So the first question goes like this: which one of the following is not the function of artificial kidney? So what do they mean by this term artificial kidney? It is hemodialysing unit, right? So when our kidney is not functioning properly, so in order to purify our blood from the nitrogenous waste products, we are going to go for a hemodialysis process. So the machine used for that hemodialysis is called as hemodialyzer, right? So that is called as artificial kidney. And which one of the following is not the function of artificial kidney? To remove nitrogenous waste from the blood, to remove excess fluids from the blood, to reabsorb essential nutrients from the blood, to filter and purify the blood. So actually, to remove the nitrogenous waste, to remove the excess fluids, all those things are considered as the function of hemodialysis, because we go for it because of it is a purifying in nature, right? So the option which is not suited here is to reabsorb, because reabsorption is a process which is done by the nephron, which is a particular part of nephron. So what is that part? It is proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, which is called as PCT and DCT respectively, and also the collecting duct are responsible for reabsorption of much amount of water. What about PCT and DCT, which will reabsorb some of the ions which are respective for their region, right? So all these reabsorption process happens inside nephron, inside the human body. But when that nephron and when that kidney goes out of function, we'll go for hemodialysis, right? So in the hemodialysis, we don't go for the reabsorption of essential nutrients and water. So this is not the function of artificial kidney. And the next question: which one among the following is not removed as a waste product from the body of the plant? It is very easy question, but some of you will confuse this with the human excretory system, right? So we have plant and human going on simultaneously in your life process. So we will be studying nutrition of both plants and animals, respiration of both plants and animals. So don't confuse with this question. It is very evident that urea is only found in the human body, because we human beings will consume all the proteinaceous substances like meat, right? And pulses, cereals. So from those proteins, after the proteins has been broken down, it produces urea as a nitrogenous waste product. But as far as the plant system is concerned, it is not intaking any proteinaceous substances. So the urea is not the waste product of plant. Okay, so do not confuse with this question and the option given. So the next question goes like this. They have given an important diagram, and you know what this diagram is about, right? So it is about stomata. So in this stomata, they have given 4 conditions. You have to study all the 4 conditions properly and compare it with the diagram given here. So what is the diagram given here? I wanted to note this. So the stomata, and which is surrounded by the God cells, a pair of God cells, right? So whether it is open or closed, so you have to observe it very clearly and very keenly, because that will confuse you. Okay, that has confused me too, and it surely will confuse you. So read the options given here. Large amount of water flows into the God cells. So which means the cells will become turgid and it has to be open, right? So whether it's open, no, it is closed, it is shrunk, right? So it is flaccid in nature. So gaseous exchange is occurring in large amount. So only when the God cells are open and the stomatal pore is open, the gaseous exchange can occur in a large amount. So this is not an option here. Large amount of water flows out from the God cell. Yes, this can be said as an option, right? Because if the water goes outside of the God cell, and it will become flaccid and the stomatal pore will close, right? So this can be said as an answer, but this should not stop you from reading all the 4 options. Okay, so don't go with the option which makes you feel right. Go for the other option also, and then decide which is wrong and which is right. So 4th option given here is large amount of sugar collects in the God cells. So we haven't studied about sugar, and we have not studied about the connection link between the sugar and the God cells operation, right? So this will not be the option here. So the correct option, large amount of water flows out from the God cells. So I want you people to note how is the pore here, whether it is closed or open. Okay. Then the next question goes like this. They have given you the picture and they have marked two blood vessels as A and B respectively. So the first and most important point is that note the chambers of the heart. So which is auricle or atrium, which is ventricle, and which is the left side of the heart, which is the right side of the heart. So the most important and confusing part here is students will consider this as the left part and this as the right part. This is very wrong. So consider you have your friend or any of your parent, either your mom or dad, standing opposite to you, and consider which is their left side and right side. So that is the correct left side and right side. Okay. So if someone is standing in front of us, which is going to be the left for them? This side, right? And which is going to be the right side for them? This side. So this is how you should mark the left side and right side. And this is the auricle or atrium, and this is the ventricle, right? So this you have to mark, and you should know where tricuspid valve is present and where bicuspid or mitral valve is present. This side will contain the tricuspid valve and this side has the bicuspid valve. So note this down very keenly. And the next thing, you have to know the blood vessel which carries oxygenated blood and the blood vessels which carry deoxygenated blood. Okay. So the right auricle, the right atrium receives all the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body through superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. And from the right atrium, all the deoxygenated blood flows into the right ventricle when the tricuspid valve opens. Okay, and all the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle goes to the lungs for the process of purification or oxygenation. Okay. So through which blood vessel? Here the blood vessel is noted as A, and this A stands for pulmonary artery. And there is an exception here because all the arteries will carry the oxygenated blood away from the heart, except this pulmonary artery, because this blood vessel carries the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle of the heart to the lungs. Okay, there is an exception here. So the blood vessel A denoted here is the pulmonary artery. Alright. So after purification process or after the oxygenation process which is taking place in the lungs, the oxygenated blood has to again reach the heart with the help of a specialized blood vessel which is denoted as B, and the B here stands for pulmonary vein, and there is an exception here too. So all the veins will carry deoxygenated blood to the heart, except this pulmonary vein, because this will carry the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart, and it opens into the left auricle or left atrium. Okay, and all the oxygenated blood from this left atrium flows into left ventricle when the bicuspid valve opens, and from the left ventricle through a blood vessel called as aorta, which is the largest of all the arteries, will carry all the oxygenated blood from the heart to all the parts of the body. So this is where a clarity is much needed in case of chambers, in case of valves, in case of blood vessels, in case of oxygenated blood or deoxygenated blood. Okay, so I have given you the entire mechanism of one human heartbeat. So be thorough in this and do not confuse. Okay. And the next question goes like this from your digestive system. What is the role played by enzyme trypsin and enzyme lipase? So from where trypsin and lipase come? Okay, from pancreas. So pancreas gives out 3 enzymes because pancreas is both exocrine in nature and endocrine in nature. The exocrine part of pancreas will secrete some of the enzymes which are very much responsible and involved in the digestion process. And the endocrine part of pancreas is called as islets of Langerhans, which we will be studying in the control and coordination chapter. Okay, and the exocrine part of the pancreas will secrete 3 enzymes predominantly. And in those 3 enzymes, we have 2 enzymes here, which is enzyme trypsin and enzyme lipase. which is pancreatic trypsin and pancreatic lipase. And other than these two, we have pancreatic amylase too. So pancreatic amylase will act on the carbohydrates from the food we consume. And this pancreatic trypsin, which they have given here, will act on all the proteinaceous food from which we consume. Okay, and this pancreatic lipase will act on the fat molecules, and it will turn those fat molecules, big fat molecules, into small glycerol and fatty acids. And for this purpose, for the enzyme lipase to act on the fat, there is another one friend helping for the lipase. What is the name of the friend? It is bile, right? So bile will act on the fat. It will help in the emulsification process. So what is emulsification? The big molecule of fat is broken down into small globules so that the lipase can act efficiently on the fat molecules for the process of digestion, right? So this is the function of both enzyme trypsin and lipase. And list two functions of finger-like structures which are present in the small intestine. So what are those structures called as? It is called as villi, right? And those villi are responsible for absorbing all the nutrients after digestion, okay? And those villi are responsible for increasing the surface area of the small intestine so that more and more nutrients can be absorbed through the villi and it can be let into the bloodstream. Okay, so I have discussed the most confusing, in your point of view, the most confusing 4 or 5 questions in this video, and all the questions and solution for this question is available in the PDF, which can be seen in your description below. So see you all in the next video of control and coordination, where we'll be discussing the most expected question from that chapter. So see you guys. Bye.